So we sin, we blow it. What's God's attitude towards us? If you're anything like me, you start getting the guilt. You think God's disappointed with you, maybe even angry with you, and then we whip ourselves in guilt and withdraw. That's not what the New Testament says at all. Hebrews chapter 4, 14 and on. Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has ascended into heaven, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold firmly to the faith we profess. When, at what times should we especially hold firmly to the faith that we profess? He tells you when. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin. Let us therefore approach the throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in time of need. How different is this to what the churches tell us? When we sin, hold firmly to the faith in Jesus that you profess. When? Because we have a high priest who sympathizes with us in our weaknesses, because he's been tempted himself. Jesus, when he walked the planet, he is being tempted just like us, but he never sinned. Therefore, in our weakness, when we fall, in our weakness, let us therefore approach the throne of grace with confidence. What? In our weaknesses, when we fall, we've got Jesus there in the heavenly sanctuary as our great high priest, and he's become human. He's been through temptation. He understands. So when we blow it, approach the throne of grace with confidence. When we sin, approach God with confidence, because Jesus is there. He's been there. He's done it. He understands. Let us therefore approach the throne of grace when we blow it with confidence. Wow! So that why? We may receive mercy and grace to help us in our time of need. Does a righteous person need mercy and grace, or an unrighteous person need mercy and grace? Does a sinless person need mercy and grace, or does a sinner need mercy and grace? It's the throne of grace. Jesus is there. He's been through what we've been through without sin, but he experienced the full force of temptation. So therefore, when you fall, approach the throne of grace where Jesus is with confidence, because Jesus is there to help us in time of need, and he will give us mercy and grace. Only someone who has sinned needs mercy and grace, and we can approach the throne of God because of Jesus confidently, with boldness. And when we go there, we find mercy and grace because we've sinned, to help us in times of need. And then chapter 5, the very next verse says this: every high priest on earth is going to draw a parallel between an earthly high priest and the heavenly high priest Jesus, and what the qualifications are. He's going to tell us why we're going to find mercy and grace from Jesus when we've blown it in time of need. Every high priest, 5:1, is selected from among the people and is appointed to represent people in matters. The priest is like a lawyer. He represents us. He's there for us. He's our representative. So the high priest is appointed to represent people in matters related to God. What matters? To offer gifts and sacrifices for sins. What? The purpose of the high priest, his work, is to offer sacrifices for sins. And Jesus offered himself as a sacrifice for sins. And verse 2, as a result, he is able to deal gently with those who are ignorant and going astray, since he himself is also subject to weakness. Jesus became a human being. He went through the full force of temptation. He was subject to weaknesses, but he didn't cave. We did, but he became a human being so he can show us sympathy and give us mercy and grace. He says, I understand. I'm here to deal with you gently. He is able to deal gently with those who are ignorant and going astray, because he himself was subject to weakness. What's your attitude? What's God's attitude towards you when you sin? Jesus became human and went through what we've gone through so he can sympathize. And so when you blow it, come boldly to the throne of grace, because I've been there, I've done that. And I will give you mercy. I will give you grace to help you in time of need. And when you come, I will treat you gently. This is the God of Christianity. So when you blow it next time, head up high. Jesus, you understand. You're going to give me mercy and grace because I've sinned. And you're going to help me. And you're going to treat me gently. What a beautiful Savior. God bless you.